England are set to face world champions Germany tomorrow night in Dortmund. The 25-year-old was hoping to make his first international appearance since November 2015.
Football's oldest professional player, Kazuyoshi Miura, has announced his intentions to play at the 2018 World Cup. The 50-year-old from Japan received 89 caps for his country between 1990 and 2000, scoring 55 goals. Should Miura make it to Russia, he would become the oldest player to take part in the tournament, eclipsing the record set in 2014 by Colombian goalkeeper Farid Mondragon, who was only 43 years old.
About my age, but I'm happy because I scored a goal as a forward. Plus, scoring a goal is always a result of regular trainings, and whenever I see that result during a match, I'm happy. It's important to keep dreaming, so playing at the World Cup is still my dream.
World number 2 golfer Rory McIlroy has criticised American's Jordan Spieth's mindset ahead of the Masters in April. Ahead of the WGC match play event in Austin, Texas, Spieth had said that he couldn't wait for the tournament to be over following his collapse at last year's event, which saw Britain's Danny Willett claim his first major. Following his own Masters collapse in 2011, McIlroy said that Spieth will always be asked about the events of last year.
It's going to be the last year he gets questions about it. If he doesn't banish those demons or win this year, the questions will always still be there. I still get questioned about the back nine at Augusta in 2011. Well, of course I sympathise with him. Look, I had a chance to win a green jacket and I didn't. He had the same chance last year, but as I said last week, he can console himself by opening up his wardrobe and seeing one hanging there.
The full scope of so-called esports has been revealed today. It is predicted that by 2020, the sport will generate more than $1 billion in global revenue and will increase its audience to 600 million viewers. Football clubs such as West Ham and Manchester City all have an esports player, with Paris Saint-Germain setting up a full team in October last year.
New Mercedes Formula One driver Valtteri Bottas says he wants to hit the ground running for his new team as he prepares for this weekend's Australian Grand Prix. The Finn, who is yet to win a race in the sport, replaced current world champion Nico Rosberg following the German's shock retirement. Ahead of his debut with the Silver Arrows, Bottas wants a positive start to the 2017 season.
In a good way, get the results early on and continue from there. I'm not thinking about it too much. Obviously, it's the only thing I want, but it's a great challenge for everyone. But I think especially for me, this team has been winning the last 2 years, and it's kind of a dream come true for me to be in a team like this. So it's a big year ahead.
There's been some positive news for women's golf today. The Kazimierzyce Country Club, who were given the right to host golf at the next Olympics, have voted to admit women as their full members into their club. But before this vote, women weren't allowed to become full members to play on Sundays. The International Olympic Committee warned the club earlier this month that they risked being stripped off the event if they didn't change their membership policy.
Rock climbing is one of the up-and-coming sports at Southampton's Solent University, attracting more members year on year. However, like the majority of university sports and clubs, it comes at a high price, with possible trips abroad and access to St Mary's Leisure Centre for the regular climber. £105 a year may not be much for a novice, but it could be considered an extravagant cost. Matt Dale went to find out more.
Rock climbing is certainly one of the more niche sports at the University at Southampton Solent offers to its students. They are based at the local leisure centre, which is only a small walk away from the campus. One of the biggest topics to debate in the sport is the pricing of an individual to sign up to use its services. With it currently being valued at £105 per year, some students consider this is too expensive. Many are only interested in climbing weekly and would treat it as more as a social rather than seeking further development, and as such would find the upfront figure quite daunting. One climber, Sam Palmer, who has only been a weekly climber for a short period, finds the payments much overpriced.
I think that if you do all the trips, then it's really good value, but I don't think it's a fair price for people who just want to come and climb every week, because then you've got to pay like £100, and then if you're only coming every week, then you're not saving that much.
He also believes that the sports hall where training takes place could have better upkeep, and that the money climbers were paying didn't reflect the quality of the equipment.
Like Sometimes you get loose holds and, you know, it could be a bit better. I think it could have better upkeep.
On the other hand, paying such a figure would significantly help the more advanced climbers save money in the future. Novice climber Ed Oakley has been a member here since September. He highlights the fact that paying the initial sum results in a compelling deduction in terms of price when it comes to climbing out in the field.
I think the membership fee is quite high if you just want to climb once a week, just, I don't know, letting out stress or whatever. But if you go on the club trips, then you more than pay back the membership because they're only like a tenner for a weekend trip away.
We approached Team Solent for their side of things, but they were unable to comment. There are going to be pros and cons to every argument, and in this case, paying such a figure up front, which in truth is a very basic investment. The decision to pay for the membership or not will be a hard one to make, and for many that will currently be hanging in the balance. Matthew Dale for Off the Bar.
Solent Kestrel's B team face Oxford Brooks this weekend as they seek to grab the opportunity to secure a home advantage ahead of their Bucks Division 3 playoff series.
Should they lose in Oxford this weekend, they'll have to travel to Birmingham, but they would rather start at St Mary's rather than travel to the Midlands.
James Burgoyne went down to training.
All eyes will be on Oxford this weekend as Team Solent's basketball side, the Kestrels, are looking to complete a double. After the women's team grabbed the first seed in their conference last week, the men's third team will now be looking to follow on from their success as they seek to secure home advantage in their first playoff series. They currently sit third with a game in hand just behind the Sussex Bears. Finishing second could be significant as it would mean they would play at St Mary's first, as the Kestrels manager explained.
It's very important when we're used to St Mary's, here, the court marking, the groups, the replay, everything. Like I said, it's very likely we're going to finish third and go away.
So how do the players think they will do in their final match against A-seed Oxford Brooks?
We should get the win, beat them here by, I think it was like a 20 points, so we just got to bring it out at their place and come back with a win.
And away to OC, the Kestrels head north to Birmingham. Could a long journey up to the Midlands dent their championship aspirations?
That's a huge advantage. Some away games don't play because, it helps with the sideline, because the sidelines are shorter. And then we can just get the ball behind us and
Home advantage makes this a must-win game for the Solent side as the Kestrels will be looking to take their place alongside the Suns as they head to take their shot in the playoffs. They will be looking to emulate last year's playoff winners Thames Valley Cavaliers, who beat Newcastle at the home of Basketball England in Manchester.
That's all from us for now. Remember to check out our website, solentjournalism.co.uk.
We'll be back same time next week. Goodbye.